I was excited to build the world in which my character was to live in.
This is Sofia May. She's an artist, filmmaker, Adobe resident, and at her core, she's a storyteller. In her short-form videos, Sofia works with elaborate fashion and striking visuals to grip her audience and lead them on journeys of introspection. Most of her videos are not driven by traditional dialogue or narration. Instead, she puts a personal twist on a familiar storytelling technique.
When I think of some of my favorite videos or films that I've seen, I have always realized I come out of the theater or come out of the experience being like, wow, I totally forgot about my life. And I think that's a really special feeling, to bring an audience so deeply into the story they're telling that they kind of forget. And I think a lot of that can be created through really well done world building. So over the summer, I was awarded a grant from the Adobe Creative Residency Fund, and with that grant, I directed a fashion film called The Year of Return. The Year of Return is a project that reflects my experience during quarantine as an artist, and how that really affected my work and, in some ways, my identity.
Loss is a wildfire, but it leaves its ash in this soil. There is life in this death.
What came of that was kind of the story of me, an artist, being in this place where I don't feel compelled in any way to create anything. I was excited to build the world in which my character was to live in. And so I started a mood board early on in the production process. I mood board so much all the time on basically everything. I created one specifically for the whole thing. I created one for the styling, and I created one for the location. And from there, I reached out to the team that I wanted to work with, and I handed over the things that I thought would help them bring this vision to life. The first scene, Isolation, is very much a space that is very empty. Our character is surrounded by a bunch of blank canvases. Her makeup is very dark and it makes her face look kind of sunken in, or like she's tired. I really wanted to create that feeling of loneliness, of isolation, of being uninspired. My DP actually also brought in a blue light that I think really adds to that as well. And those were all things that I thought really helped bring the audience into the world of isolation and what it feels to be empty and what it feels to be alone. In the second scene, I really knew that I wanted the introspection part of the story to be played out in a garden. I think gardens are such a good metaphor for growth, obviously. And I knew there was gonna be a bunch of mirrors, and that's kind of all I knew in the beginning. And as we kept building on that, I knew I wanted it to be brighter. I wanted her outfits to kind of shine. I wanted them to show the positive or the light in her in some ways. And so my stylist brought these amazing glass dresses that I think are kind of show the delicateness of our character in that moment, but also show how bright she shines. It looks exactly how it did in my head when I first imagined it. In the last scene, it's very blank again. Ephrata is the vibrancy in that room. She is wearing this beautiful Pascal dress. It just kind of adds to this whole contrast of being lonely, but also being so bright and able to handle that loneliness or that isolation. If I were teaching somebody to world build, I honestly would say to close your eyes and visualize yourself as the character, or insert yourself into the story and really try to see what would make you feel completely immersed in that story. And I think from there you can really dream up some amazing things. I think the idea is to kind of shoot from the stars first and then kind of whittle your way down from there. That's what I would suggest when world building. Being a storyteller is very inherent to human nature. I think we all tell stories in our own way, and I think we all use different mediums, but we all have that muscle. It really is one of those things that connects people and makes us understand each other, and I think that's a really special thing.